All right, the T-Day has arrived and US tariffs are in effect. The United States officially imposing an additional 25% tariffs on Indian goods, raising the total levy to over 50%. There are several key sectors, textile, shrimp, gems, leather, already reeling under the impact of Trump's tariffs, as we've seen. India has asserted its right to uphold strategic autonomy in buying Russian crude, is working to counter the impact of these tariffs essentially. Prime Minister Modi has chaired a high-level meeting already to discuss the measures to soften this blow. The Prime Minister has hit out at economic selfishness, and he said so, calling it a barrier to global fairness. Reaffirmed that India's national interest will remain the top priority regardless of external pressure. Justifying the tariffs, US President Donald Trump cited India's continued purchase of Russian oil and defense equipment, accusing New Delhi of indirectly aiding Moscow's war efforts in Ukraine. Ankush Bhandari, geopolitical analyst, is joining us from New York City at this point in time now. Thank you so much for joining in and speaking with India today. I want to begin by asking you, first of all, how do you see India's response to all of this? I think we've made it very clear that these bullying tactics really won't work. The Prime Minister's office has met, deliberated on how small and medium enterprises will be protected. The interest of Indian farmers comes foremost before everybody else.
Yeah, Sneha, thank you for inviting me first. Um, as you already mentioned, that India has been very defiant and they want to protect its own voter base or its own people. And same is the case with the Trump administration here. They want to save their voter base, their own people. I think every country has its right uh, to protest or to save itself or not to agree with other countries' demand. And India has proven in the past, whether it's 1971 war or it's 1999 Kargil conflict, or even this time in the tariff nuclear war, what we are calling it here, India has stand strong against what the Trump administration has said, and I think that that's the way if Indian government want to go ahead. I think that's the best way they think, and they have standing up. So this is the very optimum. This is not the very optimum solution as per my understanding. They should have spoken, but if that's the case, they want to go ahead, then as a Indian American, I think it's okay with the Indian Prime Minister what they are taking the stand.
But I also want to ask you that this looks like it's going to be advantage China and Vietnam, given that India's export, in fact, sector will be deeply impacted, and there would be, of course, other beneficiaries as always. And this time around, it's going to be China and Vietnam, is what it looks like. What could have been a better way forward? Also, I'd like you to throw a little more light on what are the export items, essentially the sectors, our exports, which would be deeply impacted by this. This sort of a decision that has been taken by the American administration.
So are you asking me the import of the American goods to the goods Indian goods to America, which
Yes,
will be
Indian
highly
goods to
impacted?
America. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, see, the Trump administration has not put the ban on electronics and software, which is a crucial part of the American economy, which is very good because it's also a multi-billion-dollar industry for India too. They have not put any tariffs on the pharmaceuticals because India is the pharmacy of the world and it's well known. This is also very good. The only things which they have put is on the like gems, jewelry, uh, and maybe some part of other industry like textiles. Yes, I think it will impact the American economy because of the tariffs, the value will increase, the prices will increase, may not substantially, but a little bit more, which will impact a common man like me. But the good part is that America is the importer from all over the world. So textiles we also get from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, from Honduras, from many countries around the world, Sri Lanka. Um, so maybe the textile we can save a little bit, which will not be much impact on our common man pockets when we are going to purchase any textile. Similarly, gem and jewelry, I can't comment on it because I'm not a very much
Right.
buyer of that, but it will impact in some sense. But as we always say, diplomacy is like hypocrisy. The other part of diplomacy is hypocrisy. Hope both the government can sit together and talk, because today whatever the news we received is Prime Minister Modi didn't pick up the call of President Trump 4 times, which is not a good part of as a part of diplomacy. I think the good common sense prevail, the good sense prevail, and they will sit down, and both the countries can deviate a middle way to help each other.
Right.
Because Indian
I'm going to
economy is
leave it
also
at
at
that.
stake.
Yes.
1.2% of its economy is under tariffs, which is high part as far as, because we are 1.4 billion people, right? So 1.2% of the GDP is, if you calculate, now it's not like Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, which is very small economies. 1.2% of 4 trillion or 4 plus trillion economy is a big comes in billions, right? So,
Right.
so
Well,
yeah.
no doubt that it's going to create a big impact on India, and that's the reason why this brainstorming is happening on how we can protect our own interests and certainly not succumb to the bullying by the US that we have seen. These are revenge tariffs that have been imposed by America. India, of course, is trying to work its way around it. I'm going to thank you for joining in with your views, your perspective on that story.